here on our live stream. As we tell you, we'll get you our NBA rundown, those 9 games from Joseph Schultz, who's the top unit producer over at Tony'sPicks.com. And I remind you guys, make sure you like and subscribe and set those notifications in case we don't get the plays in the night before. We will do them live for you, so you want to make sure you get those notifications for our live streams, and we'll do that today here with Joseph Schultz. Welcome to Joseph Schultz here on the show. Joseph, how's it going? Of course, showing your numbers here, you've been absolute on fire. Come off a really good day yesterday, 5-1, showing here on the 24-hour leaderboard, and of course the past 2 years, that's about 14 and a half months, 5,662 units of profit documented.
Yeah, I had a really good day yesterday, 4-1 on the NBA 5-pack, and hit a college basketball game early in the morning.
Outstanding, excellent work there. So we're getting ready to roll here with our NBA rundown here with Joseph. We got all 9 games scheduled for you, so let's go ahead and let's get underway here with game number 1 here on this 9-pack. We've got the Raptors and Pistons going head-to-head here. We see the Pistons now up to 3.5-point favorites at home, total 233.
Yeah, I think this line is moving in the right direction. This will be the 4th straight road game for the Raptors. They'll be without R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Gary Trent will also be questionable. We already know they're without Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes. They played really well in their last game. They got a big lead by halftime against the Nuggets, but that was like a Bruce Brown revenge game, and he was really up for that game. I think the team got up for him that game, but they couldn't sustain it. We all know Denver came back, and there's no shame in losing to the Nuggets, but I just don't see any motivation for the Raptors getting up like that for any, too many more times the rest of the season. Detroit has been playing well. They're 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games. Dwayne Casey isn't their coach anymore, but he's still in the front office. So I'm pretty sure he's motivated to get a win here. I'm pretty sure the players know that. So they might be getting up for him the way that the Raptors got up for Bruce Brown in the last game. I keep saying how much I like the young pieces that Detroit has and how well coached they are. So, they're definitely going to have the better lineup in this game. They're at home. I lean towards the Pistons.
Joseph Schultz, get his premium plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. Raptors and Pistons. He likes the Pistons here at minus the 3.5. All right, guys, make sure you click the link in the description. Get to Joseph's handicapper page and get signed up to one of his long-term passes. The promo code Tony at checkout will save you that 20% off. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. Next up will be the Nets and Magic here. The Magic going to be laying 7 at home. We see the total 205.
I'm sure Brooklyn will be trying. It sounds crazy, but with all the tanking teams, it's not just a given. But I'm sure they'll be trying really hard. There is 3.5 back of the Hawks for the final play-in spot. They also have an interim head coach who I'm sure they like and who's trying to lose the interim in that title by this offseason. The problem is for the Nets that they're on their 4th game of a 7-game road trip. Orlando will have a huge size advantage in the paint. They only really can combat that with Nick Claxton. Other than that, they're really thin. They've had the Magic have had 2 days rest, and they'll be getting Fultz and Suggs back. If anyone who watches the Magic closely realize that Suggs may not mean a ton of points to the point spread, but he surely means a lot to this team. They're a totally different team when Anthony Black is starting as opposed to Suggs. So this is Magic or nothing for me.
All right, Joseph Schultz, top unit performer over at Tony'sPicks.com. Nets and Magic. He likes Magic here, laying the 7 points. Hey, guys, make sure you click that link over to Tony'sPicks.com and get signed up to Joseph Schultz Premium Plays, top performer of the past 2 years. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. All 9 games on the card. Next up will be Bulls and Pacers. Pacers a 4-point favorite, total 229.
Yeah, anyone that watched yesterday's show, I said I had a feeling that Indy was the right side of that OKC game last night, and they got the outright win. It was really impressive. They got the lead, and they had an answer to every run that the Thunder had for them. They had an answer, which I like to see a team do. What was more impressive was Indiana, known for their offense, playing really good defense, both last night and in the last couple of games. This team didn't go get Pascal Siakam at the deadline for nothing. They're going to try to make a run in the East standings. They sit at 6th. I think they at least stay there. I think they're going to do well this last push of the regular season. Definitely avoid the play-in, I think. They're going to keep needing to play defense the way they have. I could kind of talk myself into the Pacers in this spot, but I'd be ignoring the fact that they're on back-to-back, coming off a big win in what could potentially be a flat spot. The Bulls are also coming off a 35-point blowout loss to the Mavericks, so they'll be super motivated. This spot is tricky if you're looking to a side, but I lean to the under. The Bulls play good defense, and like I said, they'll be motivated, so they're going to play really hard this game. Indy has played good defense recently. This game will be full of capable defenders: Alex Caruso, Patrick Williams, TJ McConnell, a bunch of them. The books are setting the Pacers totals a little too high off of their offensive reputation, but I grabbed this under at 233.5 last night, and wisely the books have lowered it to 229.5. But I still think it's better than trying to guess a side here. I like the under.
All right, Joseph, let's get his premium plays over at TonySpeaks.com. Bulls and Pacers says go under 229. All right, guys, as we said, Joseph is the top unit producer at TonySpeaks.com. The past 14 months, producing some fantastic numbers, well over 5,000 units of profit. So get on over and click the link in the description to get signed up. Let's continue here on our NBA rundown. Next up, good one here on ESPN features Nuggets and Heat. So Nuggets now 3.5-point favorites, total 216.
Finals, the finals rematch here. So Denver's been hot, 9-1 straight up, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. Public money is and probably will continue to be all over Denver here, but I think that the Heat are actually the right side of this. Now, the Nuggets left Denver yesterday, and they had a night off in South Beach, and with the reputation, I hate to kind of judge people, but the reputation of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, I probably think that they aren't distracted, but there's a ton of young guys on the team that you could see maybe getting a little distracted on a night off in Miami. But other than that, the Miami will be all business. They've lost 3 straight games, and they've fallen into 6th in the East. They'll also have the ultimate revenge motivation, having lost last year's NBA Finals to Denver. Denver also beat them in their lone meeting this season. But I did see determination, and I liked what I saw in that matchup with the Heat. Denver was up like double digits for most of that second half, but Miami never stopped fighting. They got the lead down to 2 with the ball with about a minute left in the game. If not for Terry Rozier turnover, they probably easily cover that game and maybe even get the outright win. Now, the Nuggets have been really good, but they did just let the Raptors jump on them at home and get out to a big lead and need to overcome a big deficit. They won by 6 as 17-point favorites. So I don't blame anyone who wants to bet Denver, but this would be Miami or nothing for me. Just a side note, I'd wait to place a bet if you were going to bet on Miami, because like I said, the public money is on the Nuggets right here, and you've already seen this line move from 2.5 to 3.5. I'd wait for the casual bettors to get out of work, to wake up, to take a look at their books and to place bets. And I could see this number maybe getting as high as maybe you could get 5.5 with the Heat. I lean towards the Heat.
All right, Joe Schultz get his premium plays over at TonySpeaks.com. Nuggets and Heat. He likes the Heat here at plus the points. We're seeing the market right now between 3.5. There are some 4.5. So do your line chopping, get the best number.
Right.
That's right. There is a discrepancy there. Let's continue here on our NBA rundown here for the games here on Wednesday. We move here to The Cavaliers and Pelicans here. The Pelicans will be favored at home now 6, total 216.5.
The Cavs have played a ton of games. They haven't had 2 days off in a row since the All-Star break. They'll still be without Max Strus, Dean Wade, and Evan Mobley. Now, Donovan Mitchell is upgraded to questionable. I think he plays in this game. I've seen FanDuel and other books already list his props. While I'm talking about that, I just wanted to say really quickly that I've seen his points prop at 25.5. I think that's a little too high. High usage players don't usually fare well in their first game back, especially against a good defensive team like the Pelicans. With that said, I think the Pelicans are being overvalued in this spot. With or without Mitchell, the Pelicans shouldn't be laying 7 points to the Cavs. The Cavs team matches up well with the Pelicans, personnel-wise. This will also be the Pelicans' first game home after 3 straight road games, a spot I don't like to back teams in. They're also in a possible look-ahead spot with the Clippers up next, the team directly ahead of them in the West standings. They've also won 4 straight games, so they could come in a little fat and happy, while Cleveland is desperate for a win, having lost 2 straight games. It's also a revenge spot for the Cavs. They lost their last matchup versus the Pelicans. So besides the rest advantage, everything else, it points to the Cavs. It's too many points. I like the Cavs with the points.
All right, Joseph Schultz, get his premium plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. Cavaliers and Pelicans. This one again was the Cavs plus the points here. Cleveland Cavaliers at +6. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. Our next game up will be on Hornets and Grizzlies. Hornets 1.5 on the road. Total sits at 203.5.
Grizzlies, once again, they'll have a bunch of guys questionable, most notably Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't think he plays in this game, just frankly because I don't think they're interested in winning. But like I said on yesterday's show, when you play a bunch of G League guys, you get a lot of effort, so I would be careful with that. Memphis will be at a rest disadvantage. This will be their second game of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. I don't have a ton on this game. I'm not betting it. If Jaren Jackson Jr. plays, I take the 1.5 still. I take the 1.5 with the home team. If he doesn't, I'd back the lineup with Brandon Miller and Mikal Bridges in it. Since I don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. will play for the purposes of the show, I'll take the 1.5 with the Hornets, the short number, and the rest advantage.
1.5 with the Hornets. This says that Joseph Schultz, get his premium plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. 1.5 and the Hornets. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. Our next game up will be Warriors and Mavericks. We see the Mavericks laying 7 here, total 233.
Yeah, this game's super hard for me as well. Dallas has been really good again. They had a nice little stretch a few weeks ago, and they're at it again, which is a reason for me to think maybe they're more legit than they are pretender. But they're 3-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 3, including a 35-point blowout versus the Bulls. Luka and Kyrie are absolutely balling. Steph will be out again in this game. The Warriors haven't looked great. They're 1-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 3 games, losing to the Spurs without Wembanyama and then needing a comeback to beat them in the very next game. Neither team has a rest advantage. The Mavs beat the Warriors their last time they played, so theoretically it's a revenge spot for the Warriors, but I can't trust them. I can't trust the Warriors without Steph. I don't think either team will fall below 10th in the West standings, in my opinion. They're just a little too far up for that. So they're not in danger of falling out of postseason, but it is an important game with Dallas just 2.5 games up for 8th on the Warriors. So it is an important game. Close to a must-win for the Warriors if they expect to finish 8th or better in the standings. With no Steph and how well the Mavs are playing, I could only lean towards the Mavs, but most of the money is right now on Golden State. So if you want to bet Dallas, I'd actually wait a little while and see if you can't get a better number. And I just want to drop a gem for everyone listening right now. Now, Dallas, I'm hoping and praying that Dallas wins a very close game by the grace of God, maybe even an overtime game, because their next game is against the Thunder. If that happens, I will be slamming the Thunder as soon as that line opens, because the Thunder will have the rest advantage. They're coming off a loss versus the Pacers, and Dallas beat them by 35 the last time they played, so they're going to be out for blood. If Dallas wins a close game here and they got to play their starters in a tough game, bet the Thunder immediately when that line opens for the next game. But I lean towards Dallas in this game.
All right, just so let's get a Supreme Plays over at TonySpitz.com. Link in the description. Warriors and Mavericks. Likes the Mavericks here, laying the 7 points. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. Up next here, we will have high-profile game between the Lakers and Kings. Lakers now up to 2, total 238.
Right, we were all over the Kings last night, and what was a no-sweat win. This line opened up the Lakers as 2.5-point dogs, and immediately was steamed to Lakers as 1-point favorites, and now they're 2-point favorites. I agree with this line movement. It's a must-win for the Lakers if they want any hope of getting out of the play-in spots. LeBron James is questionable, but he'll play unless something unforeseen happens. This will be Sacramento's second game of a back-to-back, third game of 4 nights. Sacramento has won 4 out of 5 matchups against the Lakers this season and 3 straight, so it's a triple revenge spot for the Lakers. The Lakers have been really good recently, going 3-1 against the spread and straight up in their last 4, including wins against Minnesota, Milwaukee, and OKC. It's very impressive. The only loss in that span was actually against the Kings. So I like the Lakers in a revenge spot in good form with the rest advantage.
All right, Joseph Schultz, get his best bets over at TonySpitz.com. Lakers and Kings. Likes the Lakers here, laying the 2 points. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown. All 9 games on the card. We close this one out here with the Hawks and Trailblazers. Hawks 3.5 on the road, total 218.
Yeah, Atlanta just lost Sadiq Bey. Jalen Johnson, who I love, is close to return, but he'll be out for this game. Portland will be putting out a respectable lineup, which you couldn't count on them recently to do. Ayton, Simmons, Henderson are all in the lineup, Grant as well. Portland is just 1-4 straight up, but 3-2 against the spread in their last 5, so they've been respectable as far as their outcomes as well. Atlanta is 3-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 4. With good wins against the Cavs and the Knicks, especially fighting for the standings in the East. So they're in decent form as well. The Hawks have more motivation to win this game sitting in 10th in the East in the last play-in spot. So I'll lay the short number with the possible playoff team in good form.
All right, Joseph Schultz, get his best bets at TonySpitz.com. Hawks and Trailblazers. It'll be the Hawks here at minus the 3.5. All right, Joseph. Let's take a look over at TonySpitz.com. Of course, as we mentioned, Joseph has been the top unit producer at TonySpitz.com for 2023 and 2024. 5,660 units of profit for about 14 and a half months documented. So when you go to Joseph's handicapper page, you'll be able to verify all those numbers. They are there for you to check out over at TonySpitz.com. Matter of fact, you can see 2024 defaulting to hit 2023 and just do the math. You'll see the numbers add up. Actually, they're lined right next to each other. We post last year's results and this year's results, and impressive 5,660 units of profit the past 14 and a half months, all documented on TonySpitz.com. All right, Joseph, we got a 9-game card from the NBA. We also have a lot of conference tournament actions, big conferences now in action. What do you have going over at TonySpitz.com?
Right, so yesterday I said I had a NBA 5-pack and a best bet that I had complete confidence in, and we only lost 1 game out of that. So, again, I already have up my best bet, and I love it. I'm personally putting double what I usually bet on it. And I have a 3-pack up for the NBA. Again, I'm not just saying this. I really love it today. Again, you'll notice I never use hyperbole or anything like that. This is gambling, but the only thing I ever guarantee is long-term success. So with that said, it's always good to hop on a 3-day, a week, a month, or a year package. Like I said, Tony's company is great, guaranteeing those short-term packages with profit guarantees. But I will personally guarantee any month and definitely the year big profitability.
That's right, guys. Get over Joseph over at Tony'sPicks.com. 5,662 units of profit the last 14 and a half months documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. An NBA 3-pack. When you click the link in the description, go to Joseph's handicapper page. You'll see he's got an NBA 3-pack, a best bet on the board. But as you scroll down further, you're going to see the long-term passes, and no better time than right now. I mean, 14 months showing great profit, man. You got to consider if it's in your bankroll to get the 1 year, go for it, or the 1 month pass is fantastic because we know you guys want to bet March Madness and all the NBA. That 1 month pass will give all of Joseph's premium plays for 30 days. That's all his NBA. That'll take you near the play-in round, right? Because we're getting to the near the end of the regular season. Also, the entire NCAA tournament will be covered with the remainder of conference tournaments. Those minor tournaments like NIT, CBI, CIT, all that's covered there. Couple of weeks of baseball because the U.S. Opening day is March 28th. So that's also covered for a few weeks there. So no better time than right now to get on board with Joseph Schultz over at Tony'sPicks.com. If it's in your bankroll for the year, or get the 1 month pass, 30-day all sports pass. And we're going to save you some money right now when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Joseph's page by clicking the link in the description. Click the all cappers tab. Go ahead and get signed up. All right, Joseph, as always, great having you here on the show live for our viewers here. As we said, have yourself a great evening and afternoon, and we'll catch up with you for tomorrow's picks.
All right, you too, Tony. Have a good one.
You as well. Joseph, I'm Tony T. Have you guys great afternoon, evening.